Hello everyone. In today's class, we will study a chapter from class 11th English Core Hornbill book. The name of the chapter is Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues, authored by A.R. Williams. This text is selected from National Geographic, volume 207, number 6. Now let us first know about the writer A.R. Williams. Anne Williams, a former senior writer for National Geographic magazine and online news. She discovered the various wonders of the world for almost 3 decades. She specialized in archaeology and covered news stories on the latest archaeological discoveries. The chapter is about the last heir of the powerful Egyptian dynasty. Through this chapter, we will come to know that Tutankhamun, who was a teenager, died unexpectedly, and his death was a great mystery. His mummy is a living example of advancement of technology. In this chapter, we will focus on King Tut's family lineage, exploration of his mummy, and the treasures and adornments found. Not only this, we will also go through reactions of different people who were related with this great discovery. Now let us first study about King Tut. King Tut was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. In ancient Egypt, the kings were known as pharaohs. So he was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, last of his royal family, his royal dynasty. He ruled during the end of the 18th dynasty for about 10 years. He was born in Amarna. He died at the age around 18 or 19. That means he was a teenage. And some references I found out that he died around 1324 BC. Now about his family lineage. Amenhotep III was his grandfather. He was a powerful pharaoh. He ruled for 4 decades. Now we can just imagine a king when he can rule for 40 long years, what will be his power? Followed centuries old religious system, right? In those days, actually they followed an old religious system where they favored worship of a single deity, and in their case it was Lord Amun. Next was Amenhotep IV, who succeeded Amenhotep III. He succeeded his throne after his death. He promoted worship of the sun disk, and the name of that god was Aten, the sun disk. He initiated one of the strangest period in the history of ancient Egypt. He changed his name from Amenhotep to Akhenaten. We can see that he has attached the name of his god to his own name. He moved the religious capital from the old city of Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten. He shocked the country by attacking Amun, the major god. He also smashed his images and closed his temples. Now here we can just know about Ray Johnson, who was the director of the University of Chicago Research Center, Luxor, which is the site of ancient Thebes. And according to him, the family that ruled for centuries was coming to an end. And then Akhenaten went a little wacky. Now this statement was given by Ray Johnson after the mummy was discovered. Now, according to this, what he meant was, it must have been a bad time for the empire, as the family who ruled for centuries came to an end and Akhenaten moved in an odd direction. Then there was the next ruler, Smankukare, who ruled for a very brief time and no clear clues are available about him. Next was Tutankhaten, King Tut, a young ruler who was widely known as King Tut. He changed his name to Tutankhamun. He supervised restoration of the old religious ways. He died unexpectedly, and the details of his death are not available. So it is a great mystery. Now, what is the meaning of Tutankhamun? The meaning of Tutankhamun is living image of Amun. So now there were two unanswered questions about his death, which were very mystical. How old was he at the time of his death? And how did he die? So the modern world speculates or guesses the reasons of his death. Next, now we have completed the family lineage. Let us now continue with the exploration parts. Now, exploration is a thing which is never complete. It keeps on progressing, right? And we are going with advanced clues, advanced research. Now, the research first began with a great work done by a British archaeologist, Howard Carter, in 1922, who discovered King Tut's tomb almost 3,300 years after his death. And what he found out? He found out that the body was packed in 3 nested coffins. That means the body was packed in 3 different layers. The top layer was the shroud part, which was adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves. What is garlands? Garlands means malain. The dead body was decorated. Adorned means decorated with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals, and corn flowers. This gives us a clue, a faded evidence that his body was buried somewhere in March or April. The second layer specially focuses on adornments. Now, what do we mean by adornments? The rich royal collection of jewelry. Carter was really moved, he was fascinated by the rich royal collection of jewelry and gold artifacts. Now, what were these gold artifacts? The precious collars, inland necklaces, bracelets, rings, amulets. Amulets means tabiz, ceremonial aprons, sandals, sheath for fingers and toes, iconic inner coffin and mask, all were made of pure gold. Even the lid of the coffin, it was made of pure gold, and the coffin was made of solid gold. Even the daily or everyday things were also packed. Now, since he was a boy, so the board games, bronze razor, linen undergarments, and cases of food and wine, they were also packed in the second layer. Now, the third layer. The body got solidified and fixed to the bottom of the solid gold coffin. Why? Because of the presence of ritual resins which were added to preserve the body. Now, this made the body stick and solidify to the bottom of the coffin. So it was very difficult for Carter and his team to study it. And Carter tried a lot. He used hot sun to melt the resins at 149 °F, but all was useless. Tut's body which was placed at the bottom of the solid coffin, needed to be chiseled. Chiseled means the body was cut to free it from resins. Otherwise, it was very difficult for him to study. So Carter's men, they removed mummy's head and cut off every major joint to separate the gold adornments. Now it was a question put up that why Carter did like that. So he expresses a specified reason. Carter said that if he hadn't cut the mummy free, the thieves would certainly have found a way of avoiding the guards, and they would have torn the body apart to separate gold to get and take it away. This would have destroyed the necessary details. Now, what is the meaning of this? They would have looted it. Some parts were already looted. We will come to know about a very strong question here. Why this gold was loaded with his body? There are two reasons given. The first reason is that he belonged to a royal family. People in those times, they were very wealthy, they were very rich. And the second reason is that in ancient Egypt, they believed in life after death. Right? They believed that there is a journey after death, and when one dies, he has to carry the things of daily use. That's why all these things were loaded with Tut's body. Now, somewhere Carter's research was resented. As I told, that not any research is a complete research. There are definitely some kind of lacunas, because the person who is doing research may be taking a particular angle and doing it, right? Which is not a satisfactory one always. So why Carter's research was resented is that he used unscientific and illegitimate methods. Illegitimate means illegal. Wrong methods he used to chisel the body. And second drawback of his research is that he focused more on treasures and less on the historical and the cultural facts. Now proceeding towards the second research, which was done by anatomy professor in 1968, about 40 years after Carter's discovery. We come to know that he x-rayed the mummy, and he revealed the fact that Tut's breastbone and front ribs were missing. Now the last part of this discovery is the final part, when on 5th January 2005, that means after a very long time, after long 80 years, when Tut's body was CT scanned, his body was taken up to a CT scanner to probe the lingering facts about Tut's death. It was evening 6 p.m. when the gilded head was first put into the CT scanner, and a forensic reconstruction was created. The results of this CT scan were quite amazing and encouraging. The neck vertebrae was clear, hand was intact, ribcage was very clear, and the skull was bright. Now let us know about CT scan. CT means computed tomography, right? And in this, a virtual image is created in which hundreds of X-rays are compiled together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional image. Generally, when we draw anything on a graph paper, we take two dimensions, X and Y. But here, a three-dimensional image was created. In this, during the CT scanning of Tut's body, 1700 digital X-rays were created in cross section, and each slice was 0.62 millimeters. That means very minute details were recorded. And the night of the scan, when the body was taken out from the tomb, the workmen, they definitely carried his body from the tomb in a box. They climbed the ramp and stairs and lifted the body because it was very heavy. They lifted it on a hydraulic trailer that held the scanner. And here the scanner stopped working, which definitely disturbed them. The whole procedure was paused, was stopped. So, two spare fans, that means a pair of spare fans, were arranged because there was dust inside the scanner which blocked the working. So the scan was finally done, and within 3 hours the body was taken back to the resting place. Now where is this resting place? Where is this resting place? It is the Valley of Kings, which is 26 feet deep underground rock cut tomb. Right? Just above the tomb there was Orion. Constellation that shone in the night sky, that was watching or blessing the boy king. Now here there was a joke cracked by a guard. Now when the dust or the sand, it blocked the scanner, right, the $1 million scanner. A guard joked saying that it is the curse of Pharaoh, because the Pharaoh is disturbed from the resting place. This $1 million scanner was donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens, its manufacturer. Now, there are too many visitors who today also come to this place to have a glance of the royal king. They could see murals on the walls, and they peer at Tut's gilded face on the outer lid. They come here to pay tribute to the royal king. Now these visitors, some of them, they go through the guidebooks that are provided, right? And some stand silently, they just ponder, they think over the reasons of his death, and some, they also believe in Pharaoh's curse, whether it is true or not. Until now, with the help of the Egyptian mummy project, this is a very good discovery, means the Egyptian mummy project till now, means we are talking about 2003, they have recorded somewhat 600 mummies. But Tut's mummy was the first one to be scanned by the CT scanner. The technician showed a very beautiful image of Tut on a computer screen. He showed the grey head which was scattered in pixels and he spun it around. So we could see the 3D image of King Tut's head. The vertebrae, hand, ribcage and transection of his skull, they were very clearly visible. Now as the work was done, the pressure was finally off from the shoulders of Zahi Hawass. Who was Zahi Hawass? Zahi Hawass was the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. This is Egypt's department that takes care of the antique things found out. When he leaped, like we were surprised to know, same way, when Zahi Hawass leaped over the body for the first long look, he was really upset to find the body in such a bad condition. And this was due to what Carter had done. And what was his statement? The mummy is in a very bad condition because of what Carter did in 1920s. But ultimately, after the CT scanning, the results were very comfortable. Zahi Hawass rested and he felt fine. Thank you.